Hey folks, hope everybody's doing well and welcome back to the channel. So for episode 11 of my 25 favorite guitarists, I'm going to talk about a guy today that sort of epitomizes a fiery player, like an intense player where total command of the instrument and just squeezes everything out of it emotion wise and just very emotive player, and I'm talking about Gary Moore. Now, what's funny about Gary Moore is, he was his history. He played with Thin Lizzy and he did his solo stuff in the '80s and so on. But when I was introduced to Gary Moore was when he did that blues album, Still Got the Blues, and I heard that, and I'm like, what, like that. I mean, I bought that CD and I was just absolutely blown away you know, um, I was a big Stevie Ray Vaughan fan, so I was, getting into that sort of old style blues, and then you hear that record, and it's like, it's an intense rock guy playing blues on a Les Paul, and it just blew me away, and that made me a Gary Moore fan because I was very aware of Gary Moore within Lizzie, but I didn't really follow his sort of '80s, rock stuff. It was as a solo artist, it was that record that really pulled me in, and man, I loved watching that guy play blues. Now, I mean, is he playing authentic blues? At times, yeah, but the rock always kind of came out in his playing. And if you watch any, and I've been watching a lot of Gary Moore stuff lately. I mean, live, the intensity and the fire that he played with, you could tell like it was just he was going for everything. And in his playing, he was like the perfect guitar player. He had always fantastic, fantastic tone. And there was that, it was the dynamics, the intensity of his playing. He was always really, really going for it. And, the guy just had such a huge vocabulary and everything that he did, it all was so absolutely musical. I mean, he had amazing chops, right? But his note selection and his phrasing, and if you ever watch him play, he is, you know, always, on a Les Paul specifically, he's literally adjusting the volume and switching pickups depending on what phrase he wanted to play. Like he had total command of his instrument, and you're watching a master virtuoso technician at work with this guy. I mean, you could tell when he was playing, he was just totally sort of engrossed, in the music. It totally overtook him, and the fire and the intensity, but yet with that, always had that sort of softer side where he would kind of back off and just play some really beautiful, tasty lines. And I mean, the guy was the whole package. And I mean, I mentioned his singing. The guy has had, you know, we lost Gary, rest in peace. But his voice, he had such a fantastic singing voice for both blues and the rock stuff that he did as well. I mean, the guy was just the whole package. And I just saw uh, a live concert of him recently. It's called Gary Moore Live Blues. I'm going to put the link below. Go check that out. And just, you know, it's him playing in what looks like to be a small club. And he actually has BB King come out and, do a couple songs with them. And you just watch this guy, and he's just an absolute master technician and player, and just an all around incredible musician. So, yeah, episode 11 got to be Gary Moore. He's got to be in my list. I just had the utmost respect for this guy as a player, as a musician, as a songwriter. Wrote some beautiful, beautiful songs. some, I mean, Parisian walkways, still got the blues. He had that, again, that fantastic, chord vocabulary and soloing and notes. I mean, the guy was just off the charts great. So if you want to experience a little bit of Gary Moore, check out the link below. But that's my number 11 of my 25 favorite guitar players, Gary Moore. Check him out. Thanks so much for watching. And if you want to help support the channel, the links are below. And have a great rest of your weekend, and I'll catch you next time. Cheers.